Many times when I engage with an owner or CEO of an organization that is contemplating making changes in their culture, one of the things that they ask me about is, do we need to have an offsite? Do we need to conduct a culture audit and do a variety of activities to kind of understand what our culture is today and what it is we want to create tomorrow? The answer sometimes may be yes, but even more often, the answer is in simply sitting with that leadership team and taking a look at and just frankly observing how that leadership team is interacting in a regular Monday morning meeting, as an example. And what I often find is there are one or two people that are behaving in a way that is unhelpful to the overall group getting to an answer. Oftentimes the CEO or the owner leads that, and certainly in more cases than not, that leader or owner is allowing that behavior to endure, is rewarding it tacitly by not actually saying anything about it and not having the straight talk conversation they may need to have with the overall team or with an individual to say, you know what, there's an opportunity here for us to more respectfully engage with one another, to create safety in the room, for everyone to speak their mind and do so in a respectful way, but also in a way that allows divergent opinions to come out and us to come up with a better answer. It doesn't necessarily require an offsite. Oftentimes it's a matter of simply setting a standard, setting ground rules for the meetings that we're going to respect one another. We're going to use straight talk. We're going to engage and actually talk about things that previously have been undiscussable. All of that is made up. All of that is invented by us. The notion that something's undiscussable is only true because we think it's undiscussable. It seems a little bit oversimplistic, but the reality is it happens every single day in our organizations. We know there's an elephant in the room. It's standing in the middle of the table. It's a topic that has just been off limits. It is Area 51, and we cannot get into it without people being concerned, people being fearful. A lot of times that experience isn't even real. It comes down from a past story, tribal knowledge, if you will, that preceded us even being in our positions. And it has the power because of the culture, because of the stories, because of all of the things that ghost stories evoke in us as individuals, of keeping us from actually having the conversations that we need to have. So one of the things that I do when I go into an organization is watch, observe, and then have the straight talk discussion with the owner, with the CEO, with whomever the client is, about simple things that can be done and simply changing our dialogue and simply changing what we talk about versus what we don't talk about, and making the undiscussable discussable. By doing that simple thing, oftentimes 90% of the issues go away and people can go and solve their problems on their own without going into a long, extended discussion and debate about what's wrong in our organization, what do we need to change. Simply stopping, being present, listening to what's going on, and recognizing and frankly just admitting that we're not talking about the things that we should as a leadership team is a great first step that often ends up with a solution that we can all live with. It often ends up with our culture being improved. It often ends up with our leadership team being stronger and having much more effective meetings than we ever had before. And it can be done in literally the snap of a finger if we decide that that's what we want to do.